Welcome to another video edition of Stay Well, Live Well. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can cut about 500 calories from your daily diet without even realizing it. That's right, you heard me correctly. You see, if you do what I say, you won't even know you're eating less and you won't feel hungry. But I won't lie. The challenge is to turn the following tips into habits and you'll drop up to 1 pound per week. Excited? Let us find out together what you can do to really get going to lose weight. Some are more conventional, but others seems weird, but they do work. I'm sure you will be surprised what some of these methods are, but when you think hard about it, it really makes sense. Let's check out the more conventional ones first. Number 1, snack in the afternoon instead of the morning. Now, if you are adding up your total daily calories across 5 or 6 smaller meals in order to control hunger and lose weight, why not get by with one less snack and slim down even more? According to a study published in the Journal of the American Dietetic Association, a mid-morning snack is less effective for weight loss than a mid-afternoon one. Researchers speculate the findings may have less to do with when we snack than the simple fact that there's not as much time between breakfast and lunch for most people as there is between lunch and dinner. As a result, morning snackers may be guilty of mindless eating and probably could forego that feeding without getting ravenous or overeating at lunch. Number 2, don't be misled by the word low fat. A Cornell study found that people eat up to 50% more when a product is labeled low fat. This is known as the halo effect because it makes the product appear healthful, prompts you to feel virtuous, and that causes you to end up eating more. Plus, do you know that the lower fat version usually contains more sugar than the regular ones in order to overcome a lack of mouthfeel and flavor? Now follow this rule of thumb. Eat the same amount of the low-fat version as you normally would the fat version, and you'll cut calories. Number 3, exercise in the morning. According to researchers at Brigham Young University, women who worked out in the morning reduces their appetite and boosts their total physical activity throughout the day. But the catch is that the appetite-reducing effect only lasts for a short time until body temperature returns to normal after exercising. However, since moving in the morning apparently encourages more movement all day, you will get the best effect by doing 4 to 5 short bursts of activity, such as taking the stairs, park in the outer reaches of the parking lot, do some crunches, and so on to obtain the best results. Number 4, do yoga. It is time to debunk this myth. Stress makes you skinny. Actually, it is the opposite. Stress makes you fat. The reason is not just because anxious situation can turn you into a comfort food seeker. Recent research from Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center shows that stress may actually change the way our bodies metabolize food. Scientists there fed women a high-fat meal. Those who reported feeling stressed the previous day burned 104 fewer calories in the following 7-hour period than those who weren't stressed, a difference that could result in a weight gain of 11 pounds in 1 year. You see, stress sets you up to be more efficient with calories, which is the last thing we need to do. To keep stress in check, commit to doing yoga. Patients at the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center who did 1-hour yoga session 3 days per week for 6 weeks experienced steep declines in the levels of the stress hormone cortisol, compared with those just doing simple stretching or no yoga at all. Number 5, eat a prune. A recent study done in Liverpool reported that eating 5 to 6 ounces of prunes every day for 12 weeks resulted in participants losing an average of 4.4 pounds or nearly 1 inch from their waistline. The better news is that the prunes were well tolerated by the body system, as no negative side effects were reported. Now, the science behind it is that prunes have high fiber content, and that helps you feel full and stay much longer. If you do not fancy eating prunes on its own, you can pair them with a protein like cheese for a snack, or you can chop them up and put them in your morning oatmeal. If you like smoothies, you can also add them there too. Number 6, increase your protein. Now, I'm not asking you to go 100% on a protein diet, but if you add a bit of protein with every snack and meal, that will help you eat less in a couple of ways. You see, protein takes the longest to digest in comparison to carbohydrate and fat. Not only that, metabolism rises approximately 20% to digest protein. Thus, it gets you full faster and keeps you full longer. One good and delicious source of such a protein is low-fat Greek yogurt. Add low-fat Greek yogurt to fruit, salmon, or chicken to salad. Or you can add string cheese to half your normal amount of crackers. Make this part of your diet and normal, and you would not even feel that you're actually on a diet. Now, as promised, here are some of the less conventional methods of cutting calories. Number 7, keep it tidy. Do you know that tidiness has a direct effect on eating? This is related to stress that we have looked at earlier. It seems that a cluttered kitchen just makes stressed women more stressed, according to researchers at the Cornell Food and Brand Lab, and causes them to eat more than they would in a clean kitchen. When researchers split a group of about 100 women between a clean kitchen and a dirty kitchen, with newspaper thrown all over the table, dirty dishes in the sink, and a phone ringing off the hook, the women who waited in the dirty kitchen ate 65 more calories in 10 minutes than the women in the clean kitchen. Number 8, eat in silence. Now, this is an odd one. It seems that hearing your own chomping could save you some calories. A new study published in the journal Food Quality and Preference showed that the noise that you make while eating food has a significant effect on how much you eat. Researchers call it the crunch effect and suggest that you'll eat less if you can hear yourself crunching. In the study, participants were split into 2 groups. One that ate crunchy foods like pretzels in silence. Another group is given the same snacks, but they ate them in front of a television. Results show that those with the television distraction ate more pretzels, 4 versus 2.75. Now, it may not sound like a huge difference. That extra pretzel can really add up over time if you continue to do so on a regular basis. This is an easy habit to cultivate, isn't it? Eat in silence. Last, but the most weird one, at least to me, is switch your environment. Most people believe that eating is driven by hunger, but much of it is actually determined by the environment that you are in. For example, in a recent USC study, they found out that moviegoers ate the same amount of popcorn, whether it was stale or fresh. They ate it simply because it was their movie watching habit. But when some were asked to switch eating hands, in other words, if they are eating with their right hand, just change it to their left hand, they swallowed less of both, especially the stale stuff. The scientific explanation to this is that disrupting their eating patterns make them more mindful of their eating. Now, there are many ways to do this, like using chopsticks or even having dinner in a different part of the house. These simple changes of habit can really have an effect on your weight. In conclusion, like I highlighted at the beginning of the video, all the above changes that I presented is not very difficult to do, and the accumulation of these actions will definitely have an impact on your weight. But the challenge is to turn these actions into habits. So why not begin today? Select 3 for a start and discipline yourself to take action for the next 3 weeks. Once it is done, go for the next 3 till you have conquered all 9.